So curious to know, like, as we, with everything that you chatted about today, like if you look into 2025, what are maybe what are one or two pieces of advice that you can give to the MSP as they start looking forward to the future and saying, hey, listen, like, what are three critical things I need to do for my business?
So the big one for me, and Mark and I'd love talking to him about this. David Weeks, all the people you're going to have on the next session, Penetary, all of them, Chris. I think so. We get ahead of our skis a little bit on terminology. Even when we were trying to turn everybody, Marco, you and I discussed this in San Diego a couple of weeks ago. We put a button on everybody saying you're now an MSP. It took 5 years for them truly to become a managed service provider where the majority of the revenue was coming from recurring revenue and they were providing proactive services and many did break fix. I think going into 2025, and we've all predicted the vCIO being the next term for our industry, but look up what that actually means. It doesn't mean just doing it a little differently with technology. It doesn't mean necessarily just, or frankly, it doesn't mean just a QBR on the technology and how well it's doing. The quarterly business review, the three of us on this call right now, I mean, we're guilty of developing that.
Yeah.
And why? Because going from break fix to managed services, we're all in the same room with all the MSPs going, well, how do I show value to my customer if I'm remotely fixing everything and they don't even know about it? And frankly, we all as an industry said,
I plead the
well,
fifth.
heck, yeah, plead the fifth or do a QBR and run in there
That's
every
right.
90 days and say, look what we did. But that's been an immense challenge. And that is not by definition a vCIO role. You are truly needing to look out for the company, for the productivity, for the people. And if 75% of the budget for an SMB is with their people and you're not having that conversation, the relationship between our requirement for technology and how the 75% of your resources or your spend is utilizing that technology, you're missing. So again, I can't overemphasize this enough. I've seen us mature from assets to data, and now it's the interaction of the utilization of that data and of that technology. And I think without becoming a operational maturity expert in whichever vertical you are in, it is incumbent on you if you truly want to be the vCIO to start talking about the utilization of the technology that you're deploying. I had a great call with Luis Giraldo yesterday on my drive down to the city. And this is what we talked about. He ran an MSP for 18 years and he gets it. If you check out his MSP Confidential podcast that he does every Friday, started at ScalePad, it just rocks. And I go to him as as well as I do you guys, because he's got that expertise and knowledge and just ingrained insight into the industry, and he really sees it. He's starting to talk to MSPs that are losing their IT services contract to consultants who are coming in to do people practice. Wow. Right.
Isn't that
We've all been
crazy?
around like, oh, we thought the printer guys were going to come steal the IT business, right? Well, that's just swapping technology for technology. But there are consultants who are coming in who are helping our next evolution of the workforce become better, become more inspired, become, you know, successful, frankly.
Yeah.
And the IT part is, it's table stakes. As complicated as it is, it's becoming table stakes.
Probably the most difficult thing for a business nowadays is to acquire good employees, keep them around, make sure that they're happy and that they're productive. Let's call a spade a spade. We as MSPs, we haven't paid any attention to that side of the business. And I think that's the opportunity that they have when they kind of think about, hey, listen, if I'm an MSP and I'm going to think about, putting a plan for growth in 2025, you want to grow your business. It's not about necessarily going to acquire 20 new customers. It's about taking the customers that you have and figuring out how do you grow within them and going after the employee experience and dealing with them and helping them out with a solution to see kind of like how they can increase productivity. With a company
Yeah.
like Produce 8, I really think that's probably a great strategy for MSPs to have.
Yeah.